Welcome to the Radisson and the 2015 State of the City delivered to you by the Chamber of Commerce. With the Economic Development Committee, the State of the City event provides a great way for the Chamber and the City to get information out to our businesses and residents, and I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. A successful community depends on a thriving economy, and in today's recovering economic environment, a thoughtful and comprehensive economic development strategy can play a major role in how that success plays out. The Chamber is proud to be part of that process. We appreciate the Council and the staff's participation in today's event, and we are optimistic about the various development opportunities facing the City in the coming months and years. The State of the City event is just one of many ways the Whittier Chamber supports the development process in the City of Whittier. We are fortunate to have a great relationship with our city's elected officials and staff, and to be able to offer our members access to them. Here to talk to you about the value of a strong local chamber is our President, Rudy Hernandez.
All right. Many of you know the value of belonging to the Chamber of Commerce, both in terms of helping you build a better business and helping you contribute to the economic vitality of our region by being a community builder. Here are some statistics for you about chambers. There are roughly 3,000 chambers of commerce throughout the United States. Small business comprise the bulk of chamber members. In fact, almost 96% of members have fewer than 100 employees. At the Whittier Chamber, we are 605 members strong, and over 75% of our members have 5 or fewer employees. Our top categories of business memberships are restaurants, real estate-related services, insurance companies, attorneys, and dentists. So basically that means, we can eat a lot here in Whittier. If you need to buy a house or a commercial spot, we have that for you. And obviously you need insurance for those. And if you get in trouble, well, there's an attorney and a lot of dentists in case somebody busts you in the mouth. Additionally, we have nearly 50 organizations and service clubs who find value in chamber membership, as well as 28 schools and places of higher learning and 10 churches. Lastly, we have 30 civic members who are local residents who join the chamber annually to support the community. Advocates of chamber have long believed that when a company is active in its local chamber, it is doing the right thing not only for the community, but for its own success as well. Studies show that joining a local chamber is an effective business strategy. It communicates to consumers that the company uses good business practices, is reputable, cares about its customers, and supports the community. When consumers know that a small business is a member of the chamber, they are 49% more likely to think favorable of it and 80% more likely to purchase goods and services from the company in the future. As you can see, even if you're not active in the events, seminars, and other opportunities to build your business that the chamber offers, there are many positive benefits related to just being a member of a Chamber of Commerce. If you are here today and you are not a member of the Whittier Chamber, we encourage you to join our organization. Our Chamber's primary purpose remains supporting the prosperity of our members and enhancing the business climate and quality of life in Whittier. We are the platform for business to provide leadership, education, and advocacy for our community. The Whittier Chamber of Commerce exists to 1, create a strong local economy, 2, provide networking opportunities, 3, provide business education, 4, act as the voice of business at the local, state, and federal levels, and 5, promote the community. As we look to the future, the Whittier Chamber will continue to effectively support our members through referrals, expert advice, workshops and seminars, activities to build your network of peers and mentors, and community events. The Chamber will also advocate aggressively on behalf of business interests and our economy. It is worth repeating that the Chamber is the sum of all 605 of our members, and that strength makes your Chamber the single most powerful voice for the business community. No other group can advocate for your enterprise in this area like the Whittier Chamber of Commerce. Again, on behalf of our Board of Directors, we thank you for coming today, and without further ado, I'd like to introduce our Mayor, Fernando Dutra.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here today. It really, really is, because this is one of my favorite groups. And, Obviously, I'm proud to be mayor of the city of Whittier. By the way, I highly recommend it. It's a great job. It's a great city to be mayor of. And so I thank you for the opportunity, and I thank you for all of the great stories that I'm going to have. I'm going to write a book on April 16th. No, I'm just kidding. And those stories from me. But, Jeff is going to do all the hard lifting, but I'm here to tell you that I do business in 5 of the cities as a builder. I think a lot of you know that. And so I get to compare how we do business. I get to compare our chamber against other chambers. And I'm not going to mention the cities, Santa Monica and San Bernardino, something like that, and some other cities in between. But I can tell you, we have the most motivated, passionate, collaborative chamber out of all those cities that I get to visit at least once every 2 months, right? Congratulations, you guys are a great team. Thank you. That's a big deal. And I'll tell you why it's a big deal. It's a big deal because you are the face of the city. Think about it. A new business coming into the city, a new family coming into the city that's going to one of your businesses, going to one of your restaurants, one of your shops, going to Greg's Auto Body, whatever it is. You're the face of the city. Now, we have a lot of faces of the city, I understand that. But you're stakeholders because you're invested in everything that we do. And so without your passion, without your dedication, especially at your level, like I said, I'm comparing it against other chambers. You wouldn't believe how far and more advanced you are in the other chambers that I get to visit. So because you are the face of this city, you have expectations, right? Because that's what happens. When you're a leader, there are expectations. And so our expectation is that you will be positive, even though we know there are bad things going on everywhere, right? No matter where you look, any one of us here could have a list of 10 things that are wrong with the city. I could probably have 20 or 30 based upon my exposure. But at the end of the day, I say it all the time. I say it at all the Wake Up Whittier meetings we go to. It's what? It's about the sales, right? I don't care if you're the best car dealership, if you're the best architect, if you're the best plumber. If you're not selling your business, no one's going to know about it. And no one's going to know about our city unless you're doing what? You're selling our city, right? You got to go out there, and we have to stay and remain positive about what's going on in the city, because the more sales we bring into the city, from whatever perspective it is, the better we're all going to do, right? I know that Tony's business is supporting whatever Rick is doing at the Spin Lounge, because that's the kind of collaboration we have at this city. And so we're stronger together. We always will be. We have to keep the issues in front of us. We know there are issues everywhere you look. And it's great that we discuss them. We discuss them responsibly. We discuss them professionally. Hang on, that's my BlackBerry. Nobody say anything about a BlackBerry, please, because I've got the last one. Let me turn this thing off. Sorry. I should have known to turn this thing off. I got it. Jeff, why don't you say something? Let me come up here like that? Oh, that's right. That was Mary. Actually. So my message is one of moving forward. I want all of us to take the next year. Let's think about moving forward. Let's think about bringing in a new person that you meet on the street. Maybe it's a young person that's moving into the city of Whittier. Maybe it's a young company that's moving into the city of Whittier. If I look around here, I look at the average age. Probably the average age is maybe, my age, 40 years old. But, look around the room, look around what's happening in our city. And so there are, believe it or not, young families and young businesses moving into our city. It's important for us as leaders, right, to take the time and take them under our wing. Bring them to the chamber events. Take them to the Boys and Girls Club and ask them to become a member. Take them to the YMCA and say, hey, become a member. Think about joining the board. We need to start thinking about how we bring these young people up in our community, because for me, it's about retaining our youth and, of course, our seniors, right? We need to make sure that we create opportunities to retain our seniors so that they don't move away from the city as well. All these things are important to me. They're important to you as well, right? And as a chamber, you have the direct access to these individuals. You have the direct access to new people moving in. and hopefully you're not letting anybody move out. Let's build some walls around Whittier. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to do that, because as soon as I say that, it's going to make the paper. I want to keep everybody right here, because you know how focused I am and how much we love this city. So I want to attract talent. I want to keep our talent that we have here. If we don't do a good job of retaining our youth by giving them the amenities, giving them the restaurants they want, giving them the developments they want, the education they want as well. Young families want to be with the school districts are great, and we are so lucky to have such great school districts here. We're also very lucky to have a college that is as forward-moving as Rio Hondo is as well, right? The programs, if you want to spend some time and kind of think about and see what they're offering, we have a forward-moving university and college in Rio Hondo that we are so proud of. So we have all the right things, right? We have great schools. We have great shopping. And by the way, the stars are aligned, ladies and gentlemen. The stars are absolutely aligned. Think about it. This is 2015. In 2008, we know what happened there, right? The economy went sideways on us. We're coming out of that now. The stars are aligned, and because the stars are aligned, you have to strike while the iron's hot, right? We have to take full advantage of this economy and also a synergy that we have in our city. If you drive up and down the city, Whittier Boulevard, what do you see? You see development going on everywhere, right? I told you it was going to happen, Gary. You didn't believe me, did you? All right. I told you it was going to. So, and it's happening because of the planning that's been done by previous councils, by previous commissions, by previous boards. It's happening because the stars are aligning. We have a great economy that's taking place now. It's getting better. Hopefully it stays consistent. You never know what's going to happen. And so it's our responsibility as leaders to make sure that we sell the city, right? Go out and tell everybody the great things that are going on in our city, because if we stay strong together, the city will move forward and we'll all be strong. So having said that, let me introduce Jeff Collier, who's going to tell you about all the great things going on, and thank you for coming out.
Good afternoon. Good to be here. We got a few things to share today. There's some good things, as the mayor said. We're excited about seeing the economy move forward here at Whittier. We've done a lot of planning for a lot of years here, and we've been hoping to see the economy turn around. Obviously, we're in the midst of that right now. We're going to be talking about some of that, but we also have some great programs going on in our city government. It all, of course, starts with our city council. We've had just a great council. They've been working very hard over the last several years. There's a lot of issues on their plate right now. And we're working hard to support them and appreciate all that they do for us. And again, just want to thank each of them for their support of staff and helping us to move the community forward. So we always start with the budget. Budgets in recent years have been very challenging. This year, if you look at the top line here, you'll see that our budget is actually looking quite good. We have a reserve in our general fund. That's a positive. We're seeing the economy come around. That's a good thing. We have some additional funds. You can see we're going to be spending some money. Most of that is going to be going into actual capital projects, and so we're going to be spending a little bit more than we're taking in there, but that's money we've been setting aside for that purpose. So we're going to be spending nearly $120 million in the coming year. So our budget has grown a bit. That's a positive, but we're also seeing revenues on the uptick, and we're very encouraged about that. Just looking at this chart here, you can see we've actually started to recover, and we're up even with where we were right prior to the beginning of the recession. We had one little blip there. In 2012-13, we actually ended up with a settlement and received some additional property tax because the county tax assessor was taking in more money than they should have, and a number of cities banded together and said, hey, that's not fair, and all of us received some additional money. So that's why you see that little blip in that 1 year, but basically you've seen good steady growth over the last several years, and that's a very strong indication as to where we're headed right now. We have some budget challenges ahead, though, and as we go forward, we do have some deficits out there, and this is based upon our projections at this point. Hopefully, they will not continue to be at this level, and we'll be able to bring them down, but there's a few reasons for that. We've been able to lease excess water rights. Well, we're in the midst of a drought. We may not have as much water to lease. We have new growth occurring out there. We may be using some of that for that purpose, is serving those properties. So we may not have as much revenue coming in from lease of excess water rights. We also have CalPERS retirement rate increases. And CalPERS went through a little bit of a tough spot there, and now they're looking at raising their rates. All cities are being faced with this. It's going to be a bit of a hit on every city, and it's going to be a real challenge for some communities that haven't planned for it. The nice thing about Whittier is a number of years ago, PERS stopped charging cities. Said, oh, you're super funded. You don't need to pay rates. Whittier's city council said, okay, that's nice. We don't necessarily believe that, so we are going to not pay you, as you're saying, but we're going to set that money aside into an account. And so the city council created a reserve fund, and we've been able to tap into that fund just a little bit during the difficult recession in order to balance our budget. So our council has always been prudent in handling those kinds of items. And so we look forward and we'll have a bit of a reserve that will help soften the blow of these rate increases on a go-forward basis. Health insurance rates are increasing for all employers. We all face that. And then we also have cost of living adjustments, a COLA. Our employees have not seen adjustments in their salaries since 2008, 2009. And they've worked with the city as we've gone through the recession, but they are due salary increases. And so we are moving forward with those increases, and that costs us money, and that is part of the bottom line in our budget. So it gives you an idea as to what some of the challenges are on a go-forward basis. Voting districts. Obviously, this has been a significant issue that our community has been grappling with on a go-forward basis. We have a little bit of a change ahead in our future with the new map. We have 4 voting districts, and we'll be beginning to implement that in April of next year. So anyway, look and see where you're at on the map, and you find out where you're at. As far as where your council district is, obviously districts 1 and 3 will be up for election in April of this coming year, and we will have council members elected from those 2 districts in the coming year. And then we will also have an at-large directly elected mayor citywide as a part of that election in April of 2016. Following in 2018, then we'll go to districts 2 and 4, and we will again have an election for council members from those 2 districts. And then we will also have another election on the mayor. It'll be every 2 years the mayor will be up for election on a citywide basis. And then our current council members will serve out the balance of their terms. And again, as you can see, we have Owen Newcomer, Joe Vinatieri, Kathy Warner up for election in 2016, while we will have Fernando, Dutra, and Bob Henderson up in 2018. So that's going to be our transition as we go forward. We're going to see some changes ahead with our election process, and it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. Drought. We're seeing drought issues in our community. We're seeing it in a number of other communities up in the Central Valley, Northern California. Fortunately, we're not hit quite as badly as actually some of the other cities around us. I know my in-laws in Glendora have a 35% reduction requirement up there, whereas down here we're only at a 20% reduction, so we're quite fortunate to be in that situation. Again, there's prohibitions against watering turf in our street medians, and so you see our street medians getting a little browner, and they may totally die out this summer. That's, again, an order from the governor, and that's what we're faced with. Again, we also have an emphasis, and you're hearing it over and over, to reduce the amount of turf in your yards. I've done that. I've removed over 1,600 square feet from my yard, and I know a number of other people are doing the same thing. So that's another item that we'll be seeing more of going on out there. We're also seeing the governor wanting to go to a tiered rate structure. Well, some cities started that and had a little bit of a problem because they didn't do it correctly. Municipal water agencies have a little bit different standard than private water companies. But that's something that the governor is looking for. And so anyway, we're cutting back in a number of ways. You're probably seeing these kinds of notices coming out in your mail, talking about drought restrictions, what days of the week you can water, telling you how, if you want to wash your car, you have to have a shutoff on your hose. There's a number of standards like that. No washing down your sidewalks or driveways with water. Those are all violations. I know I'm out pounding the pavement in the evenings. And people are watering. Unfortunately, there are still gutter flooders out there. People's sprinklers are spraying into the street, and there's a large amount of water going down the gutters. Those are the kinds of things we need to stop that type of waste, and we'll be encouraging folks to be a little bit more prudent in how they irrigate their yards. So moving on, city projects and some programs. Let's talk a little bit about what's happening with city projects. One of the biggest projects we have underway right now is our new water pumping plant. We have quite an aging pumping plant. It's 60, 70 years old, I believe, and it's quite tired. It needs an update, and so we are under construction. This was the rendering of the building when it was drawn. Plans were first drawn. If you go out to the site now, you'll see 2 large reservoirs have been constructed, and now you see the pumping plant building. Walls are up. All the pads are in for the pumps to be located inside the building. Energy efficient pumps will be going in here. This is the heart of our water system. We again serve about 2/3 of the westerly portion of the city, while suburban serves the easterly portion of the city. But again, this is a key facility for our water infrastructure. Very excited to see this coming along. We are excited to have this completed. Anticipate that this fall we will be able to flip the switch on and have our new pumps fired up and serving water to our residents here in town. Also, we have need with our water and sewer systems, and again, we've had some discussion here at council about rate structures for our water and sewer rates. Our current systems are 70 to 90 years old, and again, you see the little picture there on the top right-hand side. That's an actual pipe that came out of one of our streets, and we're seeing more and more of these situations where we have failures. And I didn't include this slide in here, but last year we had 21 failures with our water system out there where we ended up with major leaks. It was actually 2 years ago. Last year we had 31. And again, I think if you go back to about 2004, I think we had 2. So you can see the trend that is going on. We're having increase in failures. We don't have the ability to expand significant development in Uptown because we don't have enough water supply, because again, those are very, very old lines in that area, and we need to invest in our infrastructure. So again, we do have 143 miles of water distribution line in our city. We have 194 miles of sewer collection pipe out there. That's a lot of pipe, and when it's 70 to 90 years old, that's a challenge to go out and deal with that. So the City Council has targeted a program that we will start investing in replacement of this system. We look at this cost, and you see the numbers here, and we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars for water system replacement and for sewer system replacement. And the way we are approaching this is to do a pay-as-you-go approach. We could go out there and raise money through bond sales. You're going to end up paying a lot more for that process. You'll probably be paying 4 or 5 times over the cost if you were to go out to bond. This is a pay-as-you-go approach over multiple years, very prudent approach to do this. And so, yes, water rates and sewer rates are increasing, but we do need to invest in our infrastructure, and I'm excited to see our program get moving very rapidly in the coming years. We have some big water line projects coming up. Probably one of the early ones will be on Beverly Boulevard. The trees through Beverly Boulevard, the big Canary Island pines, actually sit right on top of one of the water lines on the east side of the street, and as the trees rock in the wind, we've had a couple of failures where it actually pops the old pipe, and we need to replace those, and we need to do it soon. because those big trees have a lot of weight resting on top of that pipe. So I think that'll be probably in the next year we'll be designing that project. So sewer and water is a big deal. We have a number of green projects that we're undertaking. Again, our pumping plant is going to be a significant improvement with energy efficiency in the new pumps that are in there. Obviously, for a number of years, landfill gas from our landfill is actually piped down to PIH, and it generates electrical energy for the hospital. Great use of that landfill gas. We also have our trash trucks and many of our other city trucks that drive around. You see them. They actually are fueled by compressed natural gas, not diesel or gasoline. We also have HVAC and lighting upgrades we've been doing in a number of locations. City Hall, we replaced our second-story windows with energy-efficient windows. Traffic signal lights out there are LED light fixtures. And our Greenway Trail, we added a bioswale to take and reintroduce runoff water back into the ground. Again, we're looking at those kinds of opportunities. We also have the Energy Network is an agency funded through PUC and is administered through Los Angeles County, and we're participating in a program that will allow us to take and convert over 1,600 streetlight fixtures that the city owns and operates and convert them to LED fixtures, saving a significant amount of energy. We're also looking at HVAC, heating and ventilation and air conditioning improvements at a number of our city buildings to make them more energy efficient. The pump for the pool at Palm Park, we're looking at that as well to go to a variable speed motor, which is much, much more energy efficient. As well as retrofit of building lighting at the Central Library and City Hall and Community Center. So again, very excited about that. If you look at this, this will save the city $3 million over the next 15 years. Great investment, 6-year payback. We get utility rebates as well as a part of this. There's substantial savings in gas and electric throughout this that would be equivalent to removing about 3,100 cars off the road, to give you a comparison. That's a big, big move to do that. And again, it continues the city's work towards additional conservation. We love our street trees in Whittier. Street trees are wonderful, but they also impact our sewer systems, and they also impact our sidewalks. And we have a project that we're working on in the lower uptown area that we'll be kicking off very soon. We're excited about this. We're looking to repair quite a bit of sidewalk throughout the lower uptown area. We will have to remove a few locations where the trees have created significant ramps, and there's examples that are much worse than the photo that you see there, where we actually have very high ramps due to the tree roots. We've secured a number of easements to be able to move the sidewalks around the trees, but we couldn't do that in all cases, and so we have about 8 trees that do have to come back. We'll be replanting. But we're also going in, and we received a grant, and we're going to be installing bioretention tree wells, which allows low-flow water coming down the gutter to be introduced back into the tree well and actually water the tree. And so we'll be doing that as well in a number of locations. So that'll be a nice addition. And we got the funding through the Gateway Water Management Authority. And again, that's something that we're excited to be introducing, because that'll be our first bioretention tree wells in our community. You may also be seeing some construction going on at a number of locations where we're installing new bus shelters. Right now you haven't seen any bus shelters, you've just seen some concrete work going on. And if you've been at the intersection of Colima and Whittier, right in front of Trader Joe's, you see that they've been out there whacking away at the concrete and removing that and repouring new concrete and new retaining walls up against the retaining wall that is a part of Trader Joe's lot. All of that is going to be completed here in August. You'll see these new new bus shelters like you see in this photograph going in. There's about 20 of them located in various locations, everywhere from down on Washington Boulevard in front of Marie Callender's through uptown and then out along the boulevard. So in August we'll have those all completed. And again, our bus riders are going to be sheltered from the elements a little bit better, and that'll be a very nice addition for them. Our dog park, long in coming. We're excited about that. We had a little bit of a delay in getting the fencing material delivery that was coming out of the Midwest somewhere. I know that that all arrived here yesterday or the day before. They are out there today. They're proceeding now with additional installation of the fencing that will go up throughout the site. That'll be one of the major items that is remaining, and we hope to have this open in the next month, so very excited about that. Founders Memorial Park Memorial. You remember it was vandalized quite badly, and we had a number of folks come together, and we think Rose Hills and others that came together to bring funding to replace and upgrade the memorial, and we're ready for the dedication on July 9th. Again, you see a picture of the new memorial that will be dedicated here next month. Very nice. We're excited to see that vandalism gone and the new sign all completed. We also are in a process of looking at consolidating our trash collection services. Again, we have city services on the west end of town, and we have two other providers on the east end of town. It's kind of a hodgepodge out there. City Council has decided to go out and solicit proposals. They've introduced or brought in 5 firms to submit proposals. We're in that process, and this fall that will be before the City Council for their decision on who to go with in that process. So you'll be seeing more of that in the coming months. Students in Government Day. We brought in some students from Cal High a few months ago. Had a wonderful day with these students. They had a chance to actually sit up at the big seats and learned a lot about local government. We had council members come in and chat with them, and we were blown away by these students. They did a fantastic job. Very impressed, very bright young people. The future is very bright here in Whittier, I'll have to say that. And again, enjoyed the opportunity to spend a day with these young people. Little update on police statistics and what's been happening. Generally, things are good. We've seen an overall decrease in Part 1 crimes for the most part, which is good. We've seen a slight reduction in calls for service, down about 1,000 from the prior year. And we've seen traffic collisions are slightly down, which is encouraging. So all things considered, we're doing quite well overall. Obviously, there's nuisance crime that's occurring out there, and if you're a victim of any kind of crime, it's significant to you, and it should be. But we're on the right track, I believe, with our police department doing a great job. We've also been working with, in the Uptown area, where we've actually taken and leased out 4 parking spaces in a parking lot, one of our lots uptown, for a new cell tower. That's going to generate nearly $25,000 a year in revenue. The City Council has decided we're going to take that money to fund additional police patrolling in Uptown within the parking district. And so we're excited to be able to do that and have a funding source that will help pay for that and target patrols in the Uptown area. We also have a number of interactive community programs going on. Obviously, we enjoy going out and working with the Hispanic Outreach Task Force with their backpack giveaway. I know that that's coming up here very soon, and they always do that up at Lee Owens Park. And again, a great opportunity to reach out to the neighborhood there and meet some needs, and we love partnering with them. We also have our police officers going out and having Coffee with a Cop events at various coffee shops around town. And again, the opportunity to get out there and talk to our residents and having not just the police chief or the captain, but our officers and sergeants that are out on the street to actually meet with and talk with our residents. And those have been very, very successful, and we're excited to see the results that are coming back from that. Also, it's summer. What does that mean in Whittier? Summer reading program. So again, we have about 3,800 youth participating in the program. It's pretty darn amazing. That's one of the things that I've been very impressed with since I moved to Whittier and been here, to see this program and how successful it is. Paimani and her staff do an awesome job, and it's just a fantastic opportunity for our youth to be involved in learning in fun ways through the summer. So we're excited about that. July 29th at Parnell Park will be the final celebratory event, and that'll be a fantastic opportunity. But if you're an adult, you can participate too. And so if you haven't had a chance, check it out. It's a great opportunity to do something together with the rest of the community. Also, July means kickoff of Concerts in the Park. Our summer concerts will be kicking off. Again, there's a number of opportunities through July and August to come out to one of our two venues, either Central Park or to Parnell Park, and enjoy some great music. I know my wife and I love to come out and do this, and hope your families love that as well. So check it out. Go online to find out which groups you want to see. There's certain ones that I definitely want to go see. So check it out, get out there and be a part of it. Also, Kaboom. You recall that we went through and did a Kaboom project down at Kennedy Park with a new playground. And that was fantastic. We were so excited to partner with Nestle and put in a new playground at that location and really transform that park. Well, not only did we like it, but they liked us, and they want to come back and do another project. And so we're going to be redoing later this fall, hopefully, the playground down at York Field. And again, another opportunity to partner and transform another playground in our community. So that'll be a very fun, exciting project. So look for details, look to be a part of it, because it was a fun event. We put in a lot of work, but it was sure a lot of fun. Okay, now we're getting to the fun stuff. This is where we've been working long and hard for years to bring about new business in our community. So what's going on? Well, obviously, we just celebrated the opening of Smart and Final Extra at the former Albertson site. Obviously, they moved out, but there was somebody waiting in the wings, ready to move forward. They made a lot of improvements to the building. It looks very attractive, and we're so happy to see all the activity on that site again. We also have Whittier College under construction on their Science Learning Center. And again, transforming that building. They're taking an older building, gutting it, bringing all new technology into the building, and again, an opportunity for the students at Whittier College to have state-of-the-art facilities. And we'll see this construction going on for some time, but I know that the staff over there at Whittier College are very busy. I know it's disruptive to their campus, but we're excited to see them moving forward and investing. Also, another location where we lost a tenant. Again, the supermarket industry is constantly in flux and moving around. The Ralph's closed at the Quad. We had a Vallarta market ready to step right in, and they're our first Latin market in the community. I think they will do a fantastic job. They're a great retailer. They're investing $5 million in that building, and they look to be open here in August, and so looking forward to see them opening their doors at the Quad, and I think that'll just bring new life to that location. We also have along Washington Boulevard a site that's been vacant as long as I've been in the city, working here over 10 years. And we'll see Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen and Pyology Pizzeria coming in. Again, nice to see new development going on the sites that have been vacant. The former Saturn dealership as well has plans that we're moving forward with. We have Applebee's restaurant coming in, a new Starbucks with drive-through coming into this location. Jersey Mike's Subs is coming in. Of course, they're also going in, Jersey Mike's is also going in out at Norwalk and Beverly, so they'll have two locations in this end of town. And then there'll be a fourth tenant space available, and I'm sure that they're out there working on making those lease arrangements too. That building right there is a facelift and change to the existing building. That's not a totally new building. The second building at the back will be new, but they're actually going to be really making a significant upgrade and investment in the building. You look at this view from Whittier Boulevard, a little bit more of an aerial view. You can see how that they're designing their drive-through and incorporating it into the building and doing a very nice job. Very excited to see this project move forward as well. What a transformation at this location with all of our auto dealerships there that did close. This will be the last one at this particular intersection that'll be completed, and really quite a transformation with the fitness club across the street in Oakmont just to the west. So we've seen some significant investment right here at this intersection, and a nice improvement. Plus we added the new traffic signal, which makes it much easier to get in and out of the post office. So let's talk more former auto dealerships. The former Ford Cadillac site, we have a new shopping center coming in at this location. Orchard Supply Hardware will be the anchor tenant at this location. They're working with a number of other retailers to go into this site. They haven't named them yet. We're excited to, we know who some of the people are that they're talking to, but we've been sworn to secrecy. But very excited to see this site move forward. Again, a great opportunity to see more retail activity to benefit our community, and I think this will be a fantastic improvement at this location. It's been sitting there vacant for quite some time. So again, excited to have Osh in town. Obviously they had been at the Quad previously, but they were right next to Battles, and they were just down the street from Home Depot. Those of us that live on the east end of town, we have to drive about 2.5 to 3 miles to get to the closest Home Depot or Lowe's. I could almost walk here. Yeah, I could walk here from my house. So this will, my wife will make me walk too. So this will be a great addition to the east end of town to meet a lot of our needs there. I know RD's sitting there shaking his head yes, because it's very close to him too. So you can walk too. Friendly Hills Lanes. Obviously, we all started reading out there in social media, Friendly Hills Lanes is closing. Yes, they're closing. But we have a buyer that's coming in. He recognizes the significance of the architecture, and he is working on bringing in probably 2 tenants to this existing building, doing some slight remodel, but preserving the Googie architecture, preserving the signage as well, possibly relocating it on site. But very excited to see those plans come in soon as well. So again, something closes, there's somebody ready to step right in and make it happen. And the nice thing about this particular site having new tenants coming in, the new tenants that come in will be sales tax generating, and that'll be a positive to our community. Also, we lost the Seafair Inn. That was a loss to many in the community. However, the original Pancake House is coming in. And I've never eaten at the original Pancake House down in Anaheim, but I have talked to a number of people who have, and they swear that this is going to be hitting it out of the park. So very excited about that. They are really doing a lot of work in this building and replacing a lot of the old infrastructure in the building, which was, I'm sure, quite tired. Very excited to see them open up here. I don't know that we have a date yet, Connell, but they're still working quite frantically, and they want to be open later this summer, I trust. That's so. Very excited to have them come in. Also, here in the next couple months, I believe, Whittier Toyota will be starting a remodel of their facilities, and very excited to see that new investment. Many times, auto manufacturers mandate that their dealerships upgrade and make certain improvements. I trust that's probably the requirement of what's going on here. But again, it's nice to see that investment in the facility, and looking forward to seeing Kurt out there selling even more cars with the new facade improvements and other changes to the site. Also, Kaiser Permanente over here near PIH is looking to do some upgrades to their facilities, and so we have plans in to renovate and upgrade their facade on that particular project and add some canopy areas along the south side of the building. So again, more investment occurring around PIH. Also, dog lovers, pet lovers, we do have Washington Boulevard Animal Hospital has been operating out of an older building for many years. They are moving forward and starting construction on a brand new 2-story facility. and very, very impressive. It'll be about 9,400 square foot building, very attractive, and be a nice improvement along Washington Boulevard. And again, I know a lot of us take our pets there to that location, and they're going to have quite a beautiful new facility when they're completed. So that's just some of the highlights of some of the commercial projects that are going on. But one of the things that we have going on now, and we're seeing that we hadn't seen in quite some time, is residential development occurring in Whittier. New investment to add new forms of housing. As we are obviously very aware, the Nellis project has been in process for over 10 years. A lot of discussion about that. We've been very focused on that this last week. If you look at any of us on staff or on the council, we all look a little tired. I know some of the folks at the back table there have been at all the hearings. They're all tired too. I don't see any pillows back there, but probably if we passed them out, they would be used. I think we're all feeling it. It's been pretty long evenings here lately. But again, there's been a lot of discussion on this site. We're excited to be having that discussion and hopefully making a decision on this particular property. It's a significant property, 75 acres, and again, Brookfield is looking to invest a lot of money. They have a plan all laid out to move forward. Again, we're talking 750 homes and about 200,000 square feet of commercial with preservation of some historic buildings. Again, opportunities for adaptive reuse on those buildings, and about 5 acres of open space as a part of the plan as proposed. We do have obviously challenging issues on the historic buildings. How many of them should be saved, can be saved? What are traffic impacts going to be? How will that be mitigated? The developer is going to be paying a fair share of over $1 million to the city for improvements on many of our streets and intersections as a part of this. If they don't put in all of the park space, they will be paying significant money, possibly over $3 million for additional parks monies. There's a lot of fees that are going to be paid for library fees. Over $600,000 will go to our libraries. They have significant funds that will go to the school districts. They happen to be in Los Nietos School District, so funds will go there, but it'll also go to Whittier Union High School District as well, and there'll be significant funds. There's storm drain improvements. I mean, all of the infrastructure on this site needs to be replaced. It is very dated. They have asbestos pipe all over the site because the buildings used to be heated by a steam plant many years ago. It feels like I'm back east, that they use steam heat in here, but that's what they did. And so they had to have transite pipe with asbestos in it that ran from the plant to each of the buildings. All that asbestos pipe needs to be picked up and dug up and removed safely. And so there will be a lot of cost that will go into that. Again, council hearings have been going on for 3 nights in a row. Tonight is night 4. We start at 5:30. If you have nothing else to do, come out. Otherwise, you can watch us streaming on the internet or watch us on Channel 3. So I would pick that because I'd be a lot more comfortable and I could have a pillow there. So a lot going on with the Nellis site. But beyond the Nellis site, we have construction of additional housing in other places. And again, I'm a big advocate for adding new housing and new housing opportunity sites in our community. Apartments are always kind of a NIMBY target because nobody wants apartments because those kind of people live there. And yet I argue that our young, best and brightest working people want good quality apartments. And if we can provide quality apartments, secure parking, amenities, high-end apartments, that's going to do very, very well because all of our young, best and brightest folks and folks that work at PIH and other places want that. And if they can't find it here, they move to other communities. And we want to keep that talent source right here in town. So I'm excited about this project in particular, 76 luxury apartments at the corner of Whittier and Catalina. Construction is now underway. They've dug the footings, they completed the grading, they're digging the footings out there, getting ready to install utilities and foundations. Be a very nice addition to that corner. Right down the street on the former Toyota used car lot, we have a 50-unit luxury apartment complex approved on that site as well. Then if you move to Uptown at Penn and Comstock, we've had a project where actually we were working to buy property and cobble together properties at that location over the last 10 years plus to make that happen. You remember the community garden used to be on the corner there some years ago. Very excited to work on this project here, relocating building from Whittier College campus onto the site, working with Heritage Housing Partners. This will result in 11 condominium units, ownership units at that location. Very attractive project, and very excited to see that move forward here in the near future as well. And then if you move up to on Beverly Boulevard, the former Masonic Temple or Lodge site, again, they sold that site, moved out of there. Developer has purchased it, and he has obtained approval for 40 condominium or townhome units. And again, they're in the midst of drawing their construction drawings to move forward with construction on that site. Then if you move over to the former Zeman boat trailer manufacturing site on Mar Vista, right next to the Greenway Trail, D.R. Horton is looking to move forward. They've started grading on the site for construction of 55 townhome units there, ownership units. They've named it Amesbury, named after the town in Massachusetts where John Greenleaf Whittier is formerly resided. And again, it'd be a nice addition. Folks that live there will be able to walk right out through a gate and access directly right onto the Greenway Trail. And if they want to take their pets and just walk up the street just about a quarter of a mile, they'll be at the dog park. So fantastic. And if you happen to work at PIH, you'll be able to just walk. Yeah, Deborah, you can just walk across the street and you'll be at work. So great opportunities out there. And these are the kinds of things that are I think, very exciting about the future here in Whittier. Also, the former Hadley Magnolia site where I think there was miniature golf there. I'm not old enough to know that. And again, we have another project. Another developer has come in, purchased the site. They've obtained approval for 32 ownership units on this site as well. And so they're going through their design approval process. And again, will be a nice addition. Folks that live there will have walking access to move right over. If you need public transit to get anywhere in the region, you'll be able to walk right over to Whittier Boulevard. All your shopping opportunities are right across the street, right there at the marketplace. So great opportunities in the area. Schools are straight up the street on Magnolia. So good location for new folks to move into our area. The former ICC site. This is the Code Council folks that had their office buildings for years and years and years up on Workman Mill Road, just above Beverly. Norwalk turns into Workman Mill. It's on the right-hand side. And we have 33 units of housing that have been submitted on this site as well. And looking to convert that office use actually and remove that and add additional housing. So you see there's a number of housing opportunities coming into our area. Great opportunities for current residents or new residents, employees of some of our businesses to locate here and live close to where they work. I think very exciting time for Whittier to see both the commercial projects and the residential projects coming in, plus the investment that we're making in our infrastructure and in our community in so many areas. It's a busy time. Whittier is going to be under construction. I think we're going to need to put signs out at the city entrance, under construction, because there's going to be so much going on. But that's a good thing. We're moving our community forward. I think it's very responsible, good development, and I hope you'll be excited about that. Edison is out there right now. Yeah, I got another notice. They're turning my power off, but they're making improvements in our electrical systems out there. Yeah, it's a mess when you drive down Washington Boulevard. They're changing the vaults out, but they're upgrading the systems out there. Lots and lots of improvement going on in Whittier. Great time to be in Whittier, and the future is very bright. Speaking of bright, it's just about 4th of July, and just a reminder, safe and sane or not, fireworks are not permitted in Whittier, and we don't want to be seeing anyone having to dish out $1,000 in a fine. So just a word of caution on that, and hopefully folks will follow through and abide by that. I know last weekend was a little noisy in my neighborhood. But 4th of July morning, we'd love to have you come out to Palm Park and join us for our flag raising ceremony and Freedom Walk. If you're available, come on out. It's a really nice event and encourage you to be there. It's a great way to kick off that particular holiday. And again, it's just a nice place. With that, thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity to share what's happening in town.